1600 years ago, the 12th Roman Legion, the pride of all Rome, is stationed at San Sebastian just south of the Black Sea. The reigning emperor in Rome, Valerius Licinius, in his cruel hatred for Christians, has issued a harsh new edict. The men are gathered as the commandant reads off the order. Men, from this day forward, every Roman soldier will give an offering to the emperor and recognize him as the one true living God. No one said a word, but every man's thoughts ran to the 40 among them who were Christians, and they wondered, what will these Christians do? 40 brave soldiers for Jesus, 40 brave soldiers for Christ, will be true to our God, stare death in the face. Though we perish on that lake of ice, we'll be 40 brave soldiers for Christ. After the men were dismissed, one of the centurions came to the commandant and said, Sir, there are 40 among us who are Christians, and they will not worship the emperor. The commandant sent for Aglaeus the jailer and had the 40 brought before him. He said, Men, how important can this Jesus be? Denounce him, make an offering to the emperor, so you can rejoin your ranks. The spokesman for the 40 stepped forward and said, Sir, it is written, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. We cannot deny our Lord and worship someone else. Very well, the commandant said. As it is not within my power to command life and death over a Roman citizen, you will be held in custody by Aglaeus the jailer. In about 2 weeks, the inspector general will arrive, and he will hear your case. As the men marched off, they could hear him saying, 40 brave soldiers for Jesus, 40 brave soldiers for Christ, will be true to our God and stare death in the face. Though we perish on that lake of ice, we'll be 40 brave soldiers for Christ. In 2 weeks' time, the general arrived, and Aglaeus brought the 40 to the commandant again. The general began his proceedings with these words, Men, these are perilous, troubled times for the empire, and you are among the most finely trained and bravest soldiers we have. How important can this Jesus be? Denounce him, deny him. Make an offering to the emperor and rejoin your ranks. We need you. Again, the spokesman for the 40 stepped up and said, Sir, though you strip us of our name, though you strip us of our armor, though you strip us of our clothing, though we perish, we will not deny our Lord. Very well, the general said. You have pronounced judgment on yourself. You will be marched down to the lake's edge, where you'll be stripped of your armor, stripped of your clothing. Your sandals will be removed, and you'll be marched out on the lake, where you'll march until you die. There will be a bathhouse set up on the lake's edge. If at any time you want to denounce Christ and make an offering to the emperor, you can come into the bathhouse, warm yourself, make an offering, and rejoin your ranks. Aglaeus marched them down to the lake's edge. They were stripped of their clothing, stripped of their sandals, and marched out naked onto the ice. And they could hear them sing as they walked. 40 brave soldiers for Jesus, 40 brave soldiers for Christ, will be true to our God and stare death in the face. Though we perish on that lake of ice, we'll be 40 brave soldiers for Christ. As the hours wore on past midnight, the temperatures continued to drop. Aglaeus could hear the men out on the ice singing 40 brave soldiers for Jesus. About 3 in the morning, only Aglaeus was awake to see one of the men emerge from the darkness and stumble to the bathhouse, only to emerge seconds later and collapse into the snow, apparently overcome by the heat. Aglaeus could hear the men out on the ice singing 39 brave soldiers for Jesus. No one knows what happened that night, only God and Aglaeus. But soldiers reported being awakened to shouts and seeing Aglaeus the jailer running down to the lake's edge, stripping his armor from him, stripping his clothing on him, casting his sandals aside, running out onto the ice singing, 40 brave soldiers for Jesus, 40 brave soldiers for Christ, will be true to our God and stare death in the face. Though we perish on that lake of ice, we'll be 40 brave soldiers for Christ.